today we're going to start with Caliber's bridle work. She's never done this before. She's never done any of this before. She knows how to flex in the halter. She knows how to give to pressure in the halter. She has worn the bridle a few times. She's comfortable holding it. She's comfortable wearing it. It's not strange to her anymore. But I've never actually picked up on a rein and she's never felt pressure on the bit before. So that's what she's going to learn today. So I've got a single rein. I've got a dressage whip. And the reason why I have her halter on underneath the bridle is because she's never felt bit pressure before. She doesn't know what it means. So if I were to try and lead her, she may get it, she may not. So I want to keep things as simple and as easy for her as I possibly can. So we just lead with the halter for the first several rides or drives. I will use the halter underneath the bridle until she learns how to lead with the bridle. So I'll go ahead and snap that on. And I'm going to tie the rope of the halter up around her neck so it's out of the way. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and ask her to do this. It's not really going to be any different than the foundation groundwork that she already knows. The only difference is now I've got a rein on the bit. And she's going to learn how to feel pressure on that, and she's going to learn what it means. So I've got my dressage whip here, and I'm going to use it to tap her just behind where my leg would be. And I'm going to ask her to stay forward and soft off of that bridle. Forward and soft. That's where I want her to keep forward and soft on the bridle. Good. I don't want her to come in towards me. So I'll make sure I keep my hand up like I would in the groundwork. I want to keep her forward. And I will say real quick, good girl, I've got my hand kind of where it would be if I were in the saddle. I want this to be as similar to me being in the saddle as I can possibly make it for her. So I'm going to keep my hand up just a little bit, and it's anchored in that spot. I'm not doing a lot of movement with this arm. I may open up my hand and keep her out of my space a little bit more, or I may kind of bump her just a little bit to get her off of it. If I feel her leaning on me a little bit, I don't pull on her. I just kind of bump it and massage that corner of her mouth like I would if I was in the saddle. So, I'll keep going. For a little more energy because she keeps wanting to die on me here. Good girl. That was much better. So she's already learned to transfer the flexing that she knows from the halter. She already knows, hey, that probably means the same thing when it's in my mouth. So good girl. This is her first time. So she's doing really well with this so far. I'm going to ask her to go on this way. I'm going to keep her forward and off me, but soft. Forward, forward, forward. I want to get her a little more forward. So if I need to get her to pick up a trot, I will. Now if I want to stop her, I'm going to go ahead and come in here. And I would like her to stop as I'm pulling her in here. There she's fighting a little bit. And this is why I use a full cheek snaffle, so that she can't accidentally pull it through her mouth. Good girl. Good. I want her to be comfortable with this. I don't want this to be a major deal for her. She's already used to me doing all kinds of new stuff to her, because that's what I've been doing with her throughout her entire life and her entire training process. I keep introducing new things to her, so she's used to that. That's better. Yeah. It just means something new to her. It means something, it's a new way of asking for the same thing, is what it is. It's a new way of asking for her to steer on a circle, and it would be as if I was riding her. I could ride her in a halter and lead rope for the rest of her life, but I plan on showing her and doing some more stuff with her, so she's got to be able to accept the bit. So, this is how I introduce it. And it's also how I introduce my leg cue. So when I ask her to go somewhere, I give her a tap right where my leg would be, and all of a sudden it gives meaning to what my leg is going to mean. So when I tap her with my heel when I'm riding her, she's going to think, what does that mean again? What does that mean? Oh, right. It must mean go somewhere. It must mean go forward. It must mean go faster. It means move off of that pressure in a forward direction, is what it means right now to her. In the future, different leg cues are going to mean side pass, give me your ribs, move your shoulders, move your hips, lead change, stuff like that. But right now, I'm setting that foundation. It means go somewhere. I'm asking you to do something. I'm asking you to go somewhere, please. Because forward motion is very important. You don't want a horse with sticky feet. All right, let's do this a little bit more, and then we'll call it a day, because you're doing really well for your first day. I'm going to make her move out and around, just like in groundwork. It's out and around and forward. And soft on the bridle. Good girl. Much better. Forward. There she's getting it. There, you saw that she stayed off the rein completely. She's learning. I'm going to go ahead and flex her again this way. She was so stiff. Good girl. Can you do a little better? Good. I like the full cheek snaffle because they can't actually accidentally pull it through their mouths. You can use a D-ring or a snaffle with a curb strap as well to keep it from doing that. My preference is the full cheek. Everybody's a little different, but you work with what you got best. Okay, we're going to go back this way. All right, head forward. And I want her to learn to move off of actual touching of the whip. I want her to be okay with me touching her here and her actually moving off of that, because that's going to be my heel eventually. It's going to be my leg. She's doing a very good job, a nice forward walk. As long as she's got a nice forward walk, she doesn't have to trot for this. And she's staying off the bridle very, very nicely. Good girl. Good. Good job, sweetheart. She's picking this up so easily. I might try asking for a little bit more flexion. Getting ready for the backup. So I'm going to ask her to bring her head down towards the point of her shoulder. Good girl. I want that nose to go towards the shoulder. Good. Just like you do in the halter. Good. And we'll do this way real quick. Good. Don't lean on me now. Better, but we haven't done that for a while, so that's pretty good. And then I'm going to see what she does when I pick up on both. Even pressure on both sides. Just light. Good. Good girl. Just very lightly. I'm not bumping, I'm massaging. Just giving her something to feel, some kind of pressure. Okay. I'm just staying steady. I'm not adding any pressure. I'm not changing it at all. I'll give up a little bit when she drops her head nicely like that. Keep it even. So if she turns her head this way, I'm adding just a little bit more on the other side. Good. Yes, I know. It feels weird, doesn't it? Good girl. As soon as she gave and took one step back, I gave. Good girl. Oh, that was hard, huh? That was confusing. She was doing so well with everything else, I went ahead and asked her that. But a lot of horses, they can't handle the backup as well as everything else on the first day. But she took the other exercises so well, I figured I'd go ahead and give it a try. Much better. Good girl. It's a little sloppy right now, but it's there. So that's how we start bridle work. And this goes for riding horses, driving horses. I don't care the breed. I don't care the size. This is how I start all of them. This is how I introduce everybody to the bridle. From the horses that have a future in eventing or dressage to the horses that have a barrel racing career or reining, or if they're miniatures and all they're going to be is a lead line pony and a driving pony, they all start this way. The bigger horse, the big draft horses, this makes them a lot easier to ride. And it makes everything else fall into place a lot simpler for them.